There's a lot of anecdotal advice around on improving your marriage. But if you want something you can really use that will actually make a difference and reignite your marriage, check out the link in the description below.
The question, how can you heal yourself if you find out your spouse has been having an affair? Answer by Mex Govain. While prevention is vital, recovery is the challenge after an affair has happened. Is it really possible to put the past behind you when the past includes your or your partner's affair? Try this. This is how I saved my marriage. Pete Manoy Medium. 4. Uncovering deeper motivations helps. If you look at the affair in the best possible light, what was it intended to accomplish? Was there, for instance, a long-standing sense of inadequacy that the affair partner soothed? Underlying anger at the spouse that was causing marital distance? An inability to say no when the affair partner acting seductively? Insufficient prioritizing of keeping the marriage well nurtured? Crying, which indicates vulnerability, generally can be tolerated and heard by the betrayer more readily than accusatory anger. Most spouses have limited long-term ability to tolerate the intense blame, accusation and fury that are normal during the initial period of shock. Sustained anger tends to intensify rather than ease the hurt of a betrayed spouse, slowing his/her personal recovery. Showing the partner look how much him suffering can feel tempting for purposes of punishment or guilt induction. Ultimately, however, punishment and guilt induction tends to be counterproductive, so rather than continue to explode with angry outbursts over an extended period of time, a betrayed spouse gradually needs to be able to calm down enough to discuss the painful feelings quietly. Continuing to verbally lash out at the betrayer actually delays healing. By contrast, listening openly can prove surprisingly soothing. Keep reminding yourself of the saying that data are always friendly. And information is power. Insight into one's own mistakes also empowers a person to make changes that will strengthen the marriage in the future. In this regard, discovery of the seeds of blessing that lie in the upsetting affair can help to ease the pain of betrayal. Humans are meaning-giving animals. The initial meanings a spouse gives to an affair are bound to be negative. You've been humiliated. You are so selfish, etc. Over time, however, these meanings need to shift toward a more sympathetic and nuanced understanding. The key sign that recovery is proceeding positively is if both members of the couple begin to see that, while painful and mistaken, the affair can ultimately lead to better lives for both partners. 2. In this same case, the wife had herself had a brief affair 20 years earlier. There had been insufficient marital recovery afterwards. The marriage had continued on but without forgiveness or any learning to upgrade it. There was no personal growth from either partner. The result was an additional 2 decades of living together in a joyless marriage. Answer by Jay Pyatt. Finding out about the affair is a traumatic experience. You will want to do some exercises dealing with trauma that you will need to grieve. Just like someone died. Then you have to decide, do I want to stay in this relationship? If your husband wants out, let him go. If he wants to work on it, there will have to be a new level of openness and empathy from him to make it work. Please refer to my wife's site for tips on these steps. Answer by Elizabeth Vega. There'd be a series of steps I take after the shock wore off. Tilda have a heart-to-heart with my husband. Tilda once we would say everything to each other. Hours later, I would say, he's paying for my attorney. Tilda advise I'm suing for alimony. Tilda I would tell him, eventually I will heal, but until said time we are only to communicate through our respective attorneys. Tilda I'm keeping the house. He can keep anything else. Tilda the dog is mine too. Tilda have him pick up his essentials. Ask him to leave. Tilda have a great cry. Afterwards plan an amazing trip. Tilda heal.